Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. If you're watching this, then I assume you saw my last video, the epic garage build. If you didn't, I'll leave a link in the description below. Be sure to check that out. In this video, we're going to be giving you a walk around of my garage and sharing some of the key learning and top tips for any of your future aspiring builds, whether that be a garage like this, a garden bar, or maybe even a love shack. Before we crack on with the video though, let's make a little bit of space.
Look at all this floor space. We do aerobics in here.
So many activities.
Do step class.
It's making my head spin how many activities we can do.
So guys, let's take a look around my garage. I'll show you some of the key features and my key top tips that might help you with your future builds. First up, the garage door. If you're going to get a brand new garage door for your build, make sure you get multiple quotes from different companies. Often these companies will ring you back a couple of weeks later and give you a much better deal. For example, this door I bought was quoted at nearly £9,000 to start with. The company rang me up a couple of weeks later with a special deal because they were in my area, and I got almost 60% off the original quote price. Storage is probably going to be one of the most important decisions you have to make in your workspace. How much do you need and how much space are you willing to sacrifice? Consider different options and work out how much stuff you really need and what's just junk. A clear workspace and a tidy workspace is a productive workspace. In my opinion, you can never have enough power sockets in your workshop or garage. So if you've got the luxury of planning your garage from scratch, think about where you need power. So taking the time to draw a floor plan will really help you to think about where you're going to need power in your workspace. Here you can see a quick example of a basic floor plan that I've drawn for my workspace. One side we have the workspace, the other side we have the gym. All around here I've marked the blue crosses of where we've got plug sockets. As you can see, we have ample power for everything we need in this workspace. You should consider doing the same for yours. Alexa, turn garage lights on. So this brings us on to lighting. Lighting's another big one that can make or break any space. I've chosen to go for these LED light buttons, which you can get from Amazon, in a wide range of sizes, lengths and different brightnesses. I've chosen to go for the 6500 Kelvin lights as they practically provide daylight indoors. Next up, flooring. Flooring in any space transforms the look and feel of a room. I opted to go for this heavy duty Duramat, although there's many different types and many different companies that are selling these kind of flooring mats. Choose whatever's best for you and within your price range. Pattern wise, you can do almost anything, depending on the colour and arrangement you want. I've gone for this quite quirky checkered pattern with a red outline that matches my Audi colour scheme. So guys, this now brings me on to my 5 top tips for your build. First, starting off with the door. So this door I got from Facebook Marketplace. Quite often people will be getting rid of doors as they replace them for more modern ones. You can often pick up a really cheap one on Facebook Marketplace. I got this one for next to nothing. However, bear in mind, when you do buy a door, make sure it's a more modern standard size. This one isn't, so I actually have to make a frame and a carcass for this door. And if ever I want to change it in the future, I'm going to really struggle to find one the same size. Number 2, the window. So same applies really. Often on Facebook Marketplace, you can get windows and doors fairly cheap. This one here was a brand new second-hand window. It was a window that was never actually fitted but ordered brand new. So again, I picked that up for next to nothing. It was perfect for this build. Top tip number 3, the walls. So I've opted to plasterboard my walls, and as you can see, it really does make the difference to the space. One thing you must consider is the type of plasterboard to use. So I used moisture resistant plasterboard, and really in a space like this, it's a must do. Don't be tempted to go for the cheaper, normal indoor plasterboard or rock sheet, because really it's not going to stand up to the test of the moisture and the varying heat conditions that you get in places like this. Top tip number 4, the ceiling. So I've actually used soffit board to cover my ceiling, and as you can see, it gives a pretty clean and fresh look. This is a much cheaper, lightweight alternative to plasterboard. I actually put this up with my wife in about 3 hours, really quick to do. Place the board up, staple it with a staple gun. It's all tongue and groove fitting. The best thing about this is, rather than plasterboard, you're not going to get any nasty surprises if you have a leak in your roof when the plasterboard soaks in all that water and drops down on your Prize and Joy during the night. Prize and Joy? Top tip number 5, insulation. Make sure you choose the right insulation for you. If you're going to be spending a lot of time in these places during the winter, they get pretty cold. In fact, this is a bit of an ice box. Although I've got double cavity wall insulation, I didn't opt to put the additional foam in between, so the walls aren't quite as warm as they could be. Also, I chose not to insulate the roof. It would have benefited from some additional insulation. It's probably something I can do retrospectively in the future. However, that's going to be a little bit of a pain, but something you might want to consider doing. So if you found this video useful, don't forget to give it a like and a comment. And if you're new to the channel, then please subscribe. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.